This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
This isn't about you.
It is.
It's not about you all the time, Tanner.
Exciting.
Welcome to
The
Show.
What is up?
Is that the first time I've ever said the show part?
I don't know.
I'm pretty resolved that I just pretty much. I always say the.
That felt new. That felt weird. Exciting, but weird.
Welcome to the show. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Weird. I don't know.
I don't care. I don't care. I have red hair.
Oh, you don't?
No, you don't.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that dude?
No.
He was like one of the first that I remember of people that like got famous just
For being goofy
flaming like for
The trolling made him.
Got famous off of people trolling him, and he embraced it to get famous. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you win that.
Yeah, and so he was a chubby kid with red hair, and so then people would then he would go live and rage bait anger, and then people would make songs about him.
He would just post videos.
Yeah, he would post videos. You're right. It was a long
live.
time ago.
Yes.
And then say somebody made a song about it. And
You know, if you laugh at yourself, it makes it really hard for other people to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but he was raging. That was the thing. He was like fake raging. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
He was being bullied for having red hair.
Yeah. He was quote unquote being bullied.
Rages out and his brother videos it, and then it came out later that was all fake. But I'm like, who cares? It's still
funny. It's content. That's the thing. Content these days is like, unless it's like a truth thing where it's like,
oh yeah, where they're trying to convince you. That
yeah,
it's true.
but if like, who cares if it made you laugh? Share it. Move on.
Yep.
So we have to get into a little bit of the.
Whoa!
Yeah, let's go there. I like what you were thinking.
I don't play by the rules. Sorry.
Rules.
I need some caffeine.
I'm drinking a pink lemonade Ghost. I was in the mood for it after our workout.
Take a sip.
I got Punk Punch
so good.
Monster, one of the newer flavors.
Monster.
Oh, I love the Ghost pink lemonade.
Strawberry.
I don't know if I've tried the pink lemonade.
Really? It's good. I like it. I like it a lot. It's good. Yeah. They have a tea one too that's at Walmart.
I
That's
read Once Upon a Time where pink lemonade comes from. How it got invented.
Pink lemons.
And why nobody can figure out why, like what it tastes like.
Is the pink supposed to be like strawberry or something?
No, so allegedly what happened was back in the day when they would set up little lemonade stands and stuff in the small villages, they would use the same water that they washed their clothes in.
Oh gosh.
To save water rather than just throwing the water out, they would use that to make the lemonade. The lemons would hide the flavor of whatever was in the water. And sometimes when they'd have, red clothing, it would dye the water pink, and so they would have pink lemonade, sell it as pink lemonade, and it would just be from the dye.
Bro,
that sounds highly unsanitary.
Allegedly.
I don't like
Thanks for that contribution.
Have you seen the videos of the stupid street vendor drinks where they like break the ice into the glasses and then mix up all the? Just looks horrific. Like it looks like something that would like force your body to like force evacuate everything that it's ever consumed. Just looks like a cleanser, but like in the worst way possible.
So like smelling salt,
like dysentery.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Okay, for those of you guys that haven't yet, subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah.
We have a few episodes of Patreon exclusive. Each Patreon exclusive is anywhere from like a half hour to an hour long. And then today we went live from the gym and answered questions and talked to a couple of the Patreon people that popped in.
Yep.
And if you are a $10 subscriber, you get access to the live videos. If you are, and I think it's anybody can pop into the live, but only the $10 subscribers can
comment,
watch the live after it airs. I think is something the way
so
that
they
it's
can
set
watch
up.
it. They just can't come back. And
Something like that. I think maybe, I don't know. I'll have to go in and figure it out depending on how it is. But the $10 subscriber get that. And then the $5 and $10 subscribers get the Patreon content. And that has been awesome. You guys are great. Thank you guys, Patreon supporters, for supporting us. You guys are literally.
That was fun getting to live chat. That was kind of fun.
That was pretty cool. Got to show Shannon Mike's tattoos.
Yeah.
And oh man,
Yeah,
but that was fun.
Nobody at the gym was even looking at us weird while you were videoing me showing off my tattoos.
Too many people.
That's the day and age we live in now, man.
But there was just so many
Nobody even
people
blinked at it. I love that.
That was the most
Why?
packed I think it's ever
in
been.
a time where we're videoing in the gym and nobody even cared.
That's the same time of day that Phil and I normally work out. I have never seen that gym that busy on a weekday. Why do people work out at that time on a Saturday?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was rough, dude. It was so busy.
It made me very uncomfortable.
It was like, luckily we didn't have to fight for our machines or
Here's another
dumbbells
thing
or
I
anything,
noticed
but
in this gym, because
so
there's
busy.
mirrors everywhere. In my gym at home
mirrors
doesn't. There's not a whole lot of mirrors,
I don't like that many.
and it's not
mirrors,
quite
yeah.
as big. But I noticed I kept thinking people were like staring at me, and then I realized they were trying to see themselves in the mirror, and I'm just
checking
standing in the way.
themselves
Because you can you can
So then I
do
would
like
just
a
move
four-way
out of the way,
reflection
like,
and
oh
see
my God.
yourself.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you can look in this mirror and see yourself from that mirror, from that mirror, from that mirror.
Yep.
Like like it can bounce a lot.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was less mirrors there because I feel like entire walls are no longer being
I have a
utilized
cousin
because of the mirrors.
who's an artist, and he's an
That could have
amazing
been.
artist. But I have this cousin who's an artist, and he set up his apartment at one point with mirrors, so you could see anybody in the apartment in any place in the entire apartment by looking in the mirrors.
Oh, like
He had
old
them set
like
up.
grocery
You could
store,
see-
like the
you could see
aisle looks.
every angle, every spot in the entire apartment.
creepy.
From anywhere in the apartment. That was kind of a cool way to set up mirrors.
Remind me never
was
to go to
kinda
this friend's house.
It was kind of
ever.
cool.
Well, there's a lot of people that have like in-home security cams now too. That
That's
like
true.
they're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
constantly videoing.
That's fair.
That's how you catch the ghosts.
Yeah.
That's how you
Did
catch
you
the shadow peoples.
see the video of the dude in Shattern whose car got stolen?
Yeah, I
His
did see
car was
that.
running.
I sent it
He
to you.
almost got ran over. He's running out there trying to.
Bro.
Oh my gosh!
Literally though, I've had that thought because I had to leave our car. I had to leave it running because
Yeah.
the battery got low.
Yeah.
And I'm literally just staring at the car the whole time. I'm like, I should just go sit in the car because
When he hit two cars pulling out.
Yes.
So I was super on edge yesterday, shortly after clocking on, because as I was clocking on, there was radio traffic. I was being like updated about that situation. I was like, no, we're not doing this today. We are not doing that ever again on any day. But anyway, it worked out. It was fine. It wasn't. I don't think it was even that vehicle. It was a different thing. But
Can I just say that also people in town were driving so stupidly yesterday. It was like a whole new level.
80% of bad drivers in this town are from the neighboring county to the east.
Yeah. Oh, to the east?
Yep.
Sheridan County?
Yep.
Woo!
for real.
I don't.
Every time I see 61 on the license plate, I'm like, gosh, we're gonna go 14 miles an hour.
well,
to
so-
That is hilarious you say that because that's
I
even in
ranged
Alliance.
first.
61 county plates. I didn't even make the
61,
connection.
dude.
I
So
raced
slow.
brutally.
15,
You're right. I
15
thought you
into
were going to
30.
say from the res.
From the north.
I
No,
genuinely thought you were going to say
They
that.
drive fine.
But
as long
You
as
are
they're
right.
sober.
They're so bad.
Dude, they're the
It
worst.
is right at the end of the month.
No
here.
turn signals.
So
I
that's
totally
kind of what I thought.
That's
Dude,
literally
that's
what
funny.
I think.
I have like a
90%
90% success rate predicting like that person's driving like a moron. Let's check that plate. Oh, yep, there it is.
61 county.
Like I'm not kidding. Probably 9
though.
times out of 10.
And that's
For
why I have
real.
South Dakota plates.
Those of you guys from 61 County,
Do
I was going to say I'm going to apologize, but instead I'm going to say do better. Do better, guys.
And if you are doing fine, make your people do better. Train
Go to your neighbor's house and tell them, you suck at driving. Do better, please.
Because 90% of the time you're going to be right.
It's gotten
Gosh, it is bad.
If you don't know, if you live in Sheridan County and you don't know a bad driver, you're the bad driver.
It is, but it's so funny because it's like, because if I see people that come from like Harrison or something, it's like you would expect them to be that way too, but it's not.
No.
Or if they came from like Valentine, you'd expect the same thing.
I don't know what it is.
But it's Sheridan County, bro.
I don't know what it is because there are worse counties overall, by far.
Yeah.
By far. There are way worse areas in Nebraska.
Yeah.
The drivers from
Sheridan County are the worst, dude.
I'm just not sure they get out a whole lot.
That's
I don't know. Maybe
But
Oh no, they're here every
some of the
day.
people that
They're
I
never
know,
in a hurry
like,
to get anywhere, though.
They're not in a hurry. That is the one thing.
No.
They are never
in a hurry.
I saw there was a lady
like
who
Shattern
was
is their
in
adventure for the month. I
There
think.
Dude, there was a lady in a Corvette, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I pulled in behind her, and I saw it was 61 County. I was like, "Gosh, dang it!" And sure enough, we drove 15 miles an hour in a Corvette. That Corvette is crying.
I know which Corvette
it is. It is sad.
I know exactly which car
It
you're
is.
talking about.
It's weeping the whole way through town, wondering why this lady is riding the brake rather than hitting the gas because the engine's idle.
idle's
Probably
faster than
carries it
15.
faster than 15 miles an hour.
Courtney, if you think it's not all the time, do you think they just draw names from a hat? Like, all right, 10 people. Like we're gonna draw 10 names. It's your
Hilda's
turn to go drive like a moron.
It's your turn to go to down. I guarantee we have listeners from Sheridan County too.
I mean, well, I'm from there, so you know.
Exactly. That's why I guarantee.
And
we have listeners from
I
there.
changed my plates as soon as I could, y'all. So
Oh man. Also,
25% of our main cast is from Sheridan County.
there's some great people who live in that county.
there is.
My
They
college
just
roommate lived in that county
hey.
most
We're
of
not
the time.
judging their character.
No.
Just their driving.
Just their driving. I've met some amazing people who cannot drive. I'm no judge on character. In fact, I would say because
no
of the
overlap.
slow pace of life, they tend to like have a better grasp on the things that matter than we do.
Yeah, there's not a correlation.
I'm
There's
not
not a correlation between good people and good driving.
but they're driving. Okay.
Doesn't prevent me from getting past to you. Bigfoot affirmation time.
Bigfoot affirmation. Number 25. Strength comes in quiet moments too. When you're driving behind someone in 61 and having to wait 10 minutes to get to the
Turn your
stoplight.
radio down.
From now on, a challenge. If you pull up behind someone who's from 61 County, you now have to turn your music off and meditate in the process.
And pray for them.
Because you'll have plenty of time to do it.
You could pray for your whole family by the time you reach the next stoplight, but like you got time now.
Well, the next stoplight on Highway 20, that's not saying much.
Well, I mean,
O'Neill?
that's true.
Is
That's
it
Stop,
O'Neill?
stop
Is
and
that-
get yourself some food.
Valentine.
Get yourself something to
Valentine has
drink.
it? Oh yeah, they do. They do.
Yep.
That's right.
Take a restroom break. Get back on the road. You're going to catch right back up.
You'll get. You could probably pull over, get out of your car, check your tires, make sure that everything's going to your car, hop back in, get in the car, and you're still going to get stuck behind them before you
I
get to where
have
you want to go.
literally this demonstrates my patience level for this perfectly, but also like how slow they are. I have pulled off of Highway 20, gone a block over, turned onto 2nd Street, driven for like 2 or 3 blocks, turned back and come on to 20 and beat them.
Okay, and so
Going
for,
the speed limit, by the way.
for people who are not from Nebraska, our license plate system here in Nebraska, if you're not from either Omaha or Lincoln, basically,
Metro area has
the metro
letter plates.
Yeah, the
Letter
metro
plates.
area has their system is different, but the county system in Nebraska, it shows what county you're from.
Yeah, you can tell where
and
someone's
then your
from.
license plate number. So
Yep.
we're talking about the reason we said 61 County was because that's the number for Sheridan County, and so we can identify what county somebody's from based on their license plate. Where we're 69 County, that kind of thing.
I'm 65 County.
Yeah, and so we're out west, so we're in the higher.
There's also
numbers.
no rhyme or reason for it.
So
really.
I'm sure there probably was at one time.
Wasn't I
but
thought it was based on
order in which
I
they
thought
were
it was
established or something, I
Yeah,
don't
either
know.
that or population. I thought there was a reason for it.
maybe the original population when they
original
created them.
population,
That would
they
make
just
sense.
stuck.
Yeah,
That would make a lot of sense,
because
but-
that doesn't quite
because all of us are pretty
anymore,
much the same size counties out here, so it makes sense that we're all in the 60s. But
yeah, that makes sense.
Nope.
But yeah,
but
no,
maybe not.
Yeah. But anyway, those of you guys that aren't from here probably are wondering what the heck we're talking about.
Somebody's like, we get 54, and somebody was like 6'7", and they were like
6'7".
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
News time.
I have embraced that, and Phil cringes every time I love it. I love it. It's my favorite now.
News.
I get to
why
do back,
it's your favorite.
I get to do back to you what you did to yeet with me. And now I gotta do 6.
You know what? I feel a little better about that now. Oh, that helps.
So,
But also, yeet makes sense.
I did want to touch on Jason since we talked about him on the Patreon.
He's alive.
You wanted to touch on
He lived, and he did confirm. Shut up.
You're a gallon deep already, bud.
Sorry, man.
He did confirm that he was drinking water, and he said that during the episode last week, he just had to upgrade to a bigger water bottle because he was tired of filling his water bottle up.
All right, Jason, I came up with rules.
Yeah, we got rules. We established this.
For the game.
All right, so here we go. This is, and if anybody wants to follow along, to hydrate yourself, we only condone drinking water, maybe energy drinks, but you got to sip the energy drinks.
Yeah,
Real
you
sick,
gotta
gotta
be
be
careful on that one.
delicate with the energy drinks.
Okay, here's the rules. If you're going to take a drink of whatever beverage you choose every time I laugh, if you're having trouble distinguishing if it's a fresh laugh or not, if it changes in pitch, intensity, volume, was that the 3? It was pitch, intensity, volume,
or pause. Yeah,
or if there's
stop.
a stop, you can tell.
Yeah.
But if it changes in pitch, intensity, or volume, that is a new laugh. That is a separate laugh, and you have to take a drink.
So give us an example.
Something
That's
funny.
2, 3, or a 4. No, or a 5. 6.
No, that's no.
I feel like we should get
Yeah, because you squeaked. You squeaked. That counts as a new laugh.
That's the tail end of that laugh.
7. We're at 7 drinks, Phil.
I feel like there
That's
should be a
impressive.
separate card for when
Big
he
drink for
death
the
whistle
screech.
laughs. Death whistle laugh.
Yes.
You got it.
You got to chug through
chug.
you got to chug
4
through the
ounce.
whole whistle.
Yeah.
That's a nonstop chug.
I'm crying. Tears as a finish your drink.
See, our goal now, we want to get you hydrated, okay? Jason, we care about you. We want to make sure you're healthy. We know you drink, you taking
I'm
a
really
lot
glad
of
it's
the
water. That's such
taking a lot
relief
of the
to me.
demented dust there outside. So we'll make sure you stay hydrated. We care about you, okay? But anyway,
All right. News time.
Also, I'm gonna shout out Javi Dade. Like, he said that he'd be cool with coming on the podcast as well, which is crazy to me.
It's funny because when
I didn't realize
when I
how
first
big
came
that
across Javi Dade on the Insane Labs,
He listens.
He just looked like some young kid to me. Just hanging out,
Old man.
listening to music, and then like I heard some of his music, and I was like, "Yo, he's legit." And then I dug in. He is so humble. He's such a
He is super
humble
humble.
person, and like just so like he just gives us shout outs when we
Making
pop
music
on
and boxing.
But he's genuinely excited.
But he's legit. Like he's
good.
not. He is not just some. I want to be big someday. Like people know who he is. Like
Yeah, he's good.
The guy. He's the guy.
He's
like doing stuff.
he's legit.
Yeah,
he's got some good.
He told me we
music
could do a
out there, too.
collabo one of these days, so I'm gonna have to send
That'd
him a
be
little
sick.
sample.
Yeah, but he said
be on a Javi track. That'd be sweet,
Yeah.
man. That'd be really.
I was
really
like,
cool.
but I was like, dude, we want to bring you on the podcast sometime. We'll work out because we're gonna work out with the CEO and COO of Insane Labs next month when things calm down for them because they're coming out with like 15 new products in the next month.
Man.
Well, they're also
They're keeping it on the down low too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going into that'll be going into.
He did give a little. He said some of it's just new flavors.
Yeah.
But some of it's completely new products. But some of it's just new flavors.
Dude, I'm excited. Either way,
15 new
I'm
things.
excited
That's
either
great.
way.
I'm excited either way. But
I just got my surgeon the other day.
That's
I
good
took
stuff.
my first dose last
I
night.
have
That stuff
a
was
package
delicious.
waiting at my house.
I would drink that.
another bottle of
Insane Labs.
I haven't even opened the package because I know it's just another bottle. I keep winning. Stupid.
I know. I never win. I'm on there.
And hot sauce.
So
Tanner wins again. I'm like,
so many.
But it's always it's funny because it's the things that's
Hey,
like.
let me get one of those hot sauces from you.
Dude, the
ones that are out on the counter, they're the ones that are extra.
I would drink the Surgeon just because it tastes good.
Yeah, it's good.
Like that stuff's delicious.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to Javi. I was like, dude, after we have those guys on, we'd love to have you on the show if you're up to it. And he was like, you guys actually have really good quality. I only go on podcasts if they actually like care about quality. And I was like, thank you. That means a lot, dude.
That means a lot, dude.
I was like, I don't think you just realized
We got him fooled. We got him fooled.
We did it with the soundboard. But anyway, he's got some good music. He's got some like Christian rap out there too, and he's not a Christian like exclusive
like,
Christian artist is in the sense like you can
His
find
style is really diverse too.
Very diverse.
You know, it's very
Good
top
stuff.
to bottom.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of different styles, and man, I was impressed when I started reading, looking at his stuff. I was impressed.
So those of you guys that are going to go look for it, if you're looking for like purely just clean music, he has some of that. But if like that's all you're looking for, you can. He's got quote unquote non-clean. I don't know what you would call that, secular music.
Yeah.
He's got secular music as well as Christian music out there, but anyway,
Very talented.
Very
a lot of
street. Would you call that street? I don't know what you'd call it.
Yeah.
in the industry, but
in
it's
the
very
industry.
it's very hip hop, R&B. You know, it's not. I wouldn't call it gangster rap. I would call it hip hop R&B.
Yeah,
It's a good mix.
and it's got a little bit of. He's got some
got a
like
good flow to it.
with some of the artists that are from like South America and stuff. You almost have like
there's a little bit of
like a
Latin, you know, in there. Yeah, I really like it.
It's
a good style.
Very unique and different than just like your mainstream pop rap stuff that exists now.
Yeah.
But you know who he reminds me of? I don't know if I can. I don't know if. Let me figure out what his name is on Patreon. Forgiven. On Patreon. I don't want to say his name because I think but anyway, Forgiven on the Patreon.
Yeah, he does.
He reminds me a lot of Forgiven. Like they're for lack of, I love you both, but they're both short. but even just the tone of their voice,
the way they talk,
their mannerisms are very similar. Like legit, I was like, bro, what's your last name? Like, are you related to my
very
friend?
chill, laid back, like just easy to talk to and be around.
I was like, where are you from? Are you from Arizona? And he's like, no, from Florida, Miami.
Florida.
I was like, okay, so you're probably not related. But holy cow, you guys remind me of each other. So, Forgiven, you know who you are. Go check out his stuff and see if you agree with us that he reminds us of you. But anyway, that was random.
News time?
Oh yeah, local news. Why my brain, dude.
Loose?
Local loose.
Man, but you know, whatever.
I had a new Tannerism the other day.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. Courtney sent me the list of them, but it was a good.
You had a couple of them on the episode that I was like, "Is that how you would say that?" But what would it be a combination of? And then I just let it go.
Yeah.
That's the hard part is if you don't catch
so
it.
used to it now that I don't even.
Right.
I don't even catch it. You know, I catch it on the way by, but I just let it go.
Right. If you don't catch it and think about it, you miss it sometimes. And I wish I could say that I was doing this on purpose, but definitely not. I can't find the list.
What's the news?
I don't want to. I want to talk about it was a good one.
This isn't about you.
Week.
It is.
It's not about you all the time, Tanner.
Okay.
Find it for next week. Find it for next week. I do want to hear it.
All right. So first and foremost, at like midnight last night, the U.S. and the other country in the Middle East attacked Iran, and I'm hearing, and I guess by the time this comes out, this will either be confirmed or denied, but I'm hearing on the front edge of this at least, because we recorded this, just so you know, recorded this on Saturday. So if the information you have is different, is because it's literally like less than 24 hours after it happened.
And we talked about that in the Patreon. How sometimes when you're doing current events, things develop and stories come out later, and you got to kind of go, well, we did the best we could with what we knew.
Right. Yeah. But I like talking about the current events just because it's like, anyway. So what I'm hearing is that this was like years of planning, and the intelligence agency was able to convince the leaders of Iran to go into the same bunker in order to have a conversation or to protect themselves or something like that.
Yeah.
The top 20 people, they convinced them to go into this bunker and then decimated that bunker. And apparently the goal was to take out, and I think that they combined so far from the reports I have that I've seen is that it's like 3,000 missiles that we have fired. The goal was to decimate them so badly that they could not attack back. And from what it sounds like, the return fire has been nothing compared to even the 12-day war or whatever after they took out the nuclear enrichment facilities. So from what it sounds like is that it was successful, and that they took out and so the goal was they don't want a war. They want to take out all of the leaders so that what's currently going on already over there can just proceed.
Listen, I don't care how you feel. Regardless of how you feel about current administrations, like beliefs, politics, whatever else, you gotta give them credit where credit is due. When it comes to military operations, the efficiency recently has been insane.
I have a theory.
Yeah? Send it.
I think it's because and whether it's because he ran on it or he actually believes this, I think he doesn't want an actual war. Mm-hmm. He's not just trying to do a war in order to gain the assets, because let's be real, the war benefits the U.S. if we were to get in a war.
Yep.
Right.
I think what he's trying to do is end it.
Right.
And then if he can benefit, he'll benefit. Because it's not like with what went on in Venezuela. It's not like we didn't benefit from that.
Right.
But it's not a drag out war.
It's not the military industrial complex that's benefiting. It's America as a business.
Country. Yeah, as a business. There you go. Is benefiting.
So I got an angle for you.
Okay.
So like in the fighting world, because I train fighters and stuff in my little gym over there and stuff. In the fighting world, part of the reason that we choose jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai is they are designed to end a fight before the fight starts.
Right.
Muay Thai is, I know it's punching and kicking, but it's power punching and kicking.
Right.
Because you're trying to
put them down.
You're ending the fight before it's a fight.
Yep.
Right.
And I feel like that's where we're at right now with military stuff is, because I see both sides of everything comes across my news feed. And one of the arguments on the other side of things was that, for somebody who doesn't want to start wars, he sure is sending a lot of missiles and military operations. But we're not in war.
Yeah, that's not somehow war. We're doing
that's
all of
not
that.
War. That's preventative measures to say, because the threats were already there. Threats from the other side came. There were thousands. They said we've got 3,000 of these missiles. We've got 6,000 of these missiles. We've got all these missiles.
Even China was
none of those got fired.
We've just been in a bunch of miniature Cold Wars.
Yeah,
really for the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Right. It's not the Cold War. It's a bunch of smaller, I
would agree with that.
We're not firing on each other because that's mutually assured destruction. But really, when it comes down to it, and this goes back to what you were saying as far as like he's just ending it, the U.S. doesn't really ever need to go to war. At this point,
they shouldn't have
we're so far ahead technologically when it comes to military, to weaponry and the tech that we have, we can just end pretty much any conflict.
Well, and I saw somebody say that the next war is going to be a cyber war. It's not going to be a war on the ground. It's not going to be a war of missiles and things like that. It's going to be a cyber war. And who can sabotage the other person's infrastructure? And that's going to be the war.
There is a conspiracy theory out there that's running around right now that's a theory that we've been in World War III for like since 2020.
Yeah.
And you know what happened in 2020. That we've been in World War III that whole time.
Right.
But because we weren't shooting ballistics, instead we were shooting, viruses and shutting down system. And think about it. How many times has Verizon gone out in the country? How many times has, the internet, or even just Sony Gaming. You know, it's like random things. Like all of a sudden, oh, there's a cyber attack. Oh, there's a cyber attack. I don't think these are individuals. No. I think it's them trying to figure out systems and so that's actually
and within within the topics for today, we've talked that we went so deep on today's topic that we're gonna have to do more episodes. But like deep down this rabbit hole. Brought me back to what we're talking about right now, these cyber wars that are going on. Like, this goes way back to the 1980s, clear back to the GATE program, clear back to all that, and it's all connected all the way down. Like, it's crazy how accidentally we make these connections.
There's going to be a lot of tiebacks off of this.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Philip.
Okay.
Yeah. This was an unexpected because we started talking about the GATE kids.
Yeah.
As you're looking up the GATE kids, the Gateway project and the Gateway program pops up a lot.
Right.
And so then we have to go into that. Is we weren't even planning on going into this. This wasn't on our radar.
Stargate and all those
but
just,
of all of the topics that we have covered, this one I think messed me up the most.
Yeah.
Like, okay. We'll get to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's pause, finish current events because I want to get into this.
You can tell we're excited about
Courtney,
this whole thing.
So,
did you see Jim Carrey?
Yeah. Well,
no, you didn't.
What's supposed to be Jim Carrey?
No, you didn't.
You saw Steve
Same
Carey.
thing going on with Selena Gomez too.
I haven't seen as much about
James
her.
Carey,
Kim Jerry.
I saw that one. No, I haven't heard as much about Selena Gomez, and that one doesn't strike me quite the same way.
Dude, that one hits me the same.
Okay,
because she talks like this now.
Here's why it doesn't hit me the same way.
She's got a totally different accent.
Here's why it doesn't hit me the same way. Because she's been in the Hollywood stuff. Like she never really had the same like outspoken voice against as Jim. Jim is the last person that would ever go because like you know you see all these other people with the Ozempic stuff and like whatever else, and that's kind of I don't know how much I believe it's that and how much I believe it's other stuff. But if you're going to go with that excuse, Jim Carrey's not doing that. You just can't convince me that he did.
No,
and so it's like. For him to do it, I'm like, no.
One of my favorite Jim Carrey interviews. He was like post stardom, and he did this interview, and he said, you know, I've always been about manifesting and asking the universe for what I want, and and picturing it and making it happen and manifesting these things. And he goes, and I got to the point where I could buy anything. I could buy anything. I could go anywhere I wanted. I could do whatever I want. And he said. And I hated myself, you know, and these are, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I hated myself because everybody who was hanging out with me wanted to hang out with Jim Carrey, the clown,
right?
Jim Carrey, the crazy off the wall. And that's not who I really am. That was a character I created.
It's a persona
so that I could become this person and nobody knows who I really am. So my next mission is to make sure the world knows who I really am. And then he just disappeared.
Out about
Jim Carrey was
before he disappeared. He started talking about about the
celebrities
eating children and stuff like that.
Illuminati stuff.
And then
he was a real one. Jim was a genuine person.
Yes,
like he was not what Hollywood makes people. Like that just wasn't.
Didn't cut corners. Didn't play the game.
Nope. He was legit. Yeah. Well, and I'm saying was because I don't know where he's at, but
even with Hollywood like award shows, you see some of the award shows where they told him where to sit and do certain things, and he would clown on them in his own way. He would tell them, "You guys are crazy. I'm not listening to you," but he would do it in an entertaining way. So it was
How much longer do you think Ricky Gervais has?
It's just crazy,
dude. I go back and listen to that
speech.
Oh my goodness. It warms my heart. More of a punch every month that passes.
Yeah.
That his celebrity, it wasn't even because it was a speech, but it was just like the whole episode, and it's like going back even just the little clips in between the 2 minute clip here and the 2 minute clip there from that celebrity show. Every month,
I was thinking about
more of a punch.
The Oscars or whatever that was.
Because he was the host of the Oscars, and so it was literally he had a speech, but it was the whole show. In between giving and stuff, because he's the host, there'd be a 2 minute clip here where he'd say something, a 2 minute clip there where he'd say something.
I don't even remember those parts. I just remember the main speech where he just basically told everybody how much they suck.
Right, and it was the whole show was like that.
Heart.
And so going back, it's every month that goes by, it has more and more of a punch.
Yeah. Man.
But the Selena Gomez stuff, I mean,
I'll
that
have to look into
because
that.
the ties to Justin Bieber, which is the ties back into all of that stuff.
I hadn't thought
and
about
a lot
that.
of
Yeah, I saw something too where they
cries for help from Justin
cloned
Bieber
Gina
and
Davis,
all of that.
and that new clone is where they're tying into.
Yes.
And that's what the weird speech pattern is from.
And then the other side of it is
have you
Selena Gomez reportedly has lupus, and so it's like leave her alone because it's health issues, and that's why she looks different, because it's a lot of gaining and losing weight and stuff. But it's like
why they look different.
you could just say plastic surgery, man. Like it's just whatever. Like, I don't know, man.
Do you remember? And actually, this I got to write this down. But do you remember when Ellen DeGeneres's girlfriend or wife or whatever passed away in the car crash?
Yeah.
And then in the body bag, she like ripped out of the body bag and sat up, and they were like, and their excuse was, "Oh, the body does weird things when it's burned." And she was like trying to escape the body bag. This was on live TV.
That was her?
Yeah, that was Ellen DeGeneres' wife.
Portia, right?
I don't remember what her name was. No, it wasn't. I think it was a different. I think it was before.
Oh, okay.
And she had apparently been coming out about a lot of the secret stuff going on, and then all of a sudden she quote unquote committed self-unaliving by wrecking her car. But then she tried to escape the body bag, but it was on live, so it was like you can't undo that. And so a helicopter viewed it.
I think they're struggling with how many cameras are everywhere.
Oh yeah,
like it used to be just the powers that be would just like set these things up, and somebody would fall off a balcony, or somebody get in a car accident, or accidentally fall on some bullets.
There's too many eyes watching now.
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere.
The funny thing is they put the cameras everywhere.
And that's the thing. It's not just the cameras, but everybody has instant access to those cameras.
Yeah.
So you can get rid of them, but somebody saw it.
Yeah. It's not that there's cameras. It's that we have access to them.
Yeah.
If they had it their way, there would be those cameras. And that's the thing. That's the next step.
Yeah.
The next step, if all of this is real, is that we will lose access to those cameras.
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff resurfacing about the Miami police response recently as well. You seen any stuff about that?
Yeah, I've seen a couple things coming out about people.
I haven't
who are
seen much
there.
detail, but I saw they're kind of looking at releasing information on that whole thing.
I've seen a couple people talking about how they were there recently.
Yeah,
because that's the craziest thing about that is that like with the Miami Mall thing, there should be there. I mean, it's a mall. There should be people testifying and being like, "Hey, yeah, I was there. It was just kids going crazy."
Yeah,
but okay. More current events. Pakistan declared war on Afghanistan. Yeah, so that happened. And then
not a good time right now to book your vacation.
Don't go to Mexico either.
Several places.
Mexico too now.
Yeah, stay home.
Good work, whoever took that guy down. But holy smoke, what a crap storm!
Jalisco cartel leader got taken and all that. And then there's been winged humanoid sightings have surged in Pasco County, Florida.
Okay.
That's apparently that's been apparently, and people in our Discord said that there's been a lot of reports coming out in Nebraska.
Yeah,
of people seeing stuff
all over the place. Yeah, Nebraska was one of them where they recently there's been some reports of these winged humanoid.
But things. I want to transition to something really really serious real quick before we get into the episode. Okay. So like I'm sorry to change the mood, but like
no, you're good.
I want to know who is buying underwear and then using the resealable packages that they come in. Why do underwear come in resealable packages?
You had me for a second. I thought we were going to have a real... Wow.
What kind of a psychopath buys their underwear and then reseals the bag?
Well, no,
why underwear coming? Why do they come with resealable bags?
I got you. Here's the deal.
Meanwhile, my cereal just goes stale 5 seconds after I open the bag.
Wait a second. So they're vacuum sealed, right? Most of the time, they're not like full vacuum, but like they're compressed.
They have holes in the bag.
But like they're compressed, right? They come like at least mine do. They come rolled up, right? And then so you take one out, you reseal it, and then it keeps it mostly compressed.
Time,
you're just getting one new pair out of it, which is a different kind of psychopath.
You got to keep your undies fresh.
As I'm saying this, I'm realizing just how psychotic that sounds.
There's also holes in the bags.
I don't know what underwear you're buying.
No, go
Like
to
the
Walmart.
little
I
perforated,
looked.
like-
I looked the last time I bought them, and I was curious. I have been sitting on this for a couple weeks because I wanted to double check.
I don't think I've
There's
ever had
holes in the
undies
bags.
with a resealable package. I don't think
Most of them do. You would be surprised.
Not that I have either,
I will
actually.
bet you.
I'm gonna go look.
I will bet you money. You know why? Because the main brands are the ones that have the resealable packages. I just bought some new Hanes.
I'm gonna double
resealable
check.
packages.
We'll circle back to this next week.
You don't
to
believe me
investigate.
because of how absurd this
I need
sounds,
to investigate.
but I
always tear
promise you.
into the package. I don't.
I do
remember
too.
ever
I don't even open the.
opening
But there's a
There must be something
resealable.
I may have an explanation. Though,
Okay.
For returns, like if you just buy the pack, go home, try, you know.
so you can zip it back together.
Yeah, and
so you're
like it's not
tearing the
very
package
ethical,
open?
but then the store could
Okay,
just like
that makes sense.
roll, put it back in.
See,
Because like
that's
when
why
I
she's on the
when I
show.
buy
That's disgusting.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna be honest. If I found out,
when I buy bras, they come in resealable, and I order online and stuff. So I've had some that
See, she's got the
didn't
inside
Yeah.
track.
weren't the right. Yeah, and so I'll
If
just
I-
resealable
Okay,
pack,
okay.
put it
If
back
I
in the
were to
package, print
find
off the
out-
label, send
All right,
it back.
all right. This is a lady's answer.
In store, I'm
To,
not saying that that's
if
ethical, but like
I
it's better for.
to discover
I've also
that
received a.
underwear
Sorry, go ahead.
that I purchased had been worn
Yeah.
by someone
yeah.
else and returned to the store.
You don't try your undies on in store?
No force on this planet could save whoever's responsible for allowing
Tanner.
that from my wrath.
April Fool's Day is coming up.
So
So on the guy's side, you have to tear the perforated edge, and then you can open up the resealable thing.
Okay, right.
So they can't just put them back on the shelf. They would have to send them back. They would send them back, and then they would just put it back in. You would never know.
That's what I said.
You would never know that your underwear had been tried on
So
before.
wash your undies, man.
Let me
Then you
say
don't have
my
to worry
thing.
about it.
Yeah.
'Cause I've mentioned like buying a bra online and stuff. I've bought one that was quote unquote new. I pulled it out of the bag and it smelled like BO.
Oh my!
Murder.
Yep.
Murder.
If you
Yeah.
Justifiable homicide.
if you're a
Don't
guy,
care.
if you're a guy, and you try on your underwear and you return it, there's nowhere that you can hide. I will find you.
If you're that person,
I have a special set of skills.
I would wade through the legions.
I
of
have been
hell
on this podcast.
torture you.
I've been chasing loose ends
and you think
for
he's
years.
joking, but
I was born.
he sniffs
I
the
was
undies straight
born
out of
in
the
this
package,
world.
so he knows.
We know how the
These
gateway
companies,
program works.
they
We
don't-
can,
So,
we can hunt
brother.
you down that way.
There's nowhere you can hide.
I will remote view you.
I will find you.
No, really though, if you are that level of degenerate,
yeah.
leave.
But
We don't
also,
want you.
the
goodness.
companies
On the
don't
girl
care
side,
about ethics. They
I
care
was-
about money.
On the girls' side, I like. Okay, I don't understand why they wouldn't at least like clean them.
Yeah.
But on the girls' side, I can understand because like your garments are expensive. Guys are like designed to be disposable garments.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we buy them, we use them, we
It's
throw
like
them
what,
away.
Yeah.
$10, $12 for a 5-pack of Hanes boxer
That'll
briefs?
last you a year. You know, like it's
Yeah.
it's
I
nothing.
make mine run longer than that.
Yeah, but you
But
get what
yeah,
I'm saying.
like minimum
it's
a year.
designed to last. Whereas the I feel like the
like-
ladies' undergarments, it's like
Yeah.
you gotta sacrifice a child to buy a year's supply of undergarments. You know, like it's highway robbery and it's redonkulous.
Someone could have previously just purchased the one that I got and tried it on, and they were not having a very hygienic day.
But even still, if
and they
it's-
were like, "This doesn't fit," and then just sent it back.
But you can't sell it as new anymore. Then
No, you can't. You
I
shouldn't
mean,
be
you
able
shouldn't.
to.
You should.
shouldn't.
Whether
You
okay, even if you're legally allowed to, ethically you shouldn't.
No,
I don't see
but
how you
these
could be
companies
legally
don't care
allowed
about
to.
ethics.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't care.
you can, there's, no. No.
Okay.
There's diseases that
Yep.
can be spread that way. Don't do that.
That's what I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like it's
Like,
not.
there's no,
No,
way the
if-
FDA
yeah.
is cool with that.
I would have made a bigger deal if it had not just been a bra. But
Yeah, right, exactly.
Underwear, no way, no way.
Not
man.
FDA, Department of Health,
No.
whatever.
Okay.
No.
Whoever's in charge of that.
I think I've got a good transition into the episode.
Good.
All right.
Excellent.
So,
and just kidding.
do you remember and the episode title there? Do you guys remember when the Queen had her televised funeral? Do you guys remember that? Queen.
I feel like this is a setup question.
I don't know.
You guys remember that? Okay, so I remember I was watching it briefly, and I actually remembered hearing this, that there was a hot mic moment. And on the hot mic, you just hear a couple random people talking, and you hear one of them say, "The death is unreversible or irreversible." And then it cuts out, and then they just continue as if they, like, the people who are the commentators, it was like they didn't even know, they didn't hear it. And it moves on, okay? So
that is ominous.
So, getting into today's episode about the consciousness and the human conscious brain.
So the death or death?
That's two different sentences. That's what I was thinking.
The death. I can't remember.
Death.
I'll Google
the death is very specific, but if you're just saying death is irreversible, then yes, death is irreversible.
It was like it was either the or her.
I know someone who would disagree with that statement.
That death is irreversible.
Yeah, he's right here. You can talk to yourself.
Okay.
Tanner, man, come on.
What?
You missed it.
I did miss it.
I'm so mad at you.
He's actually up at the right hand of heaven.
He's right here.
Okay.
I mean, sure. But more accurately, the Holy Spirit, though, too.
Well, yeah.
So,
he's the same person, dude.
Yeah.
It's the same essence. Same essence.
But
We've had this argument.
distinct Godheads.
I know.
But
we just like arguing with you, Phil.
I don't know what's going on. I'm busy looking. Okay. So
viewing? Remotely?
So I actually don't remember the whole thing, apparently. I was wrong. The whole quote is, "The death is irreversible, and the fact that she is trapped."
What?
Was the quote.
The fact that she is trapped.
Let me see if I can.
The death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped.
As you can see.
And then they cut in.
That was creepy.
I'll let you listen to it one more time. This was during her funeral. Hot mic moment.
Death is irreversible, and the fact that she's trapped.
As you can see.
Bro, that is straight out of a horror
the commentator
movie.
pops in.
That is straight out of a psychological thriller.
One of the aspects of what we're talking about today, and we'll get into it, but that's a little teaser for some of the stuff we got coming up. But the Gateway project and program. One of the more nefarious parts of this.
More than this.
One of the more nefarious parts of this was the idea that we could eventually transfer consciousness.
Right.
So,
dog, it's not.
If they were able to do that, and the Queen, and so some people say that Queen Elizabeth really represented and acted just like what was the Queen before her? Queen. No, my brain. I should have prepared this. I didn't think we were going to get this deep into it. But the Queen before her, they say that she like emulated her to a T. It was like almost as if the previous queen that had led before the kings had led. I don't remember what her name is.
Right.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It was almost as if she just picked up where she left off. And they always say about Queen Elizabeth, it was almost as though she led with more wisdom than she could have possibly had at a young age during a hard, difficult time of the country. Yeah. And but anyway, I'm just saying, if that is an aspect of this. Okay. But let's get into the Gateway Project. So I will start out and I will explain briefly. So we talked about the GATE program last week, and the GATE program was the Gifted and Talented Education Program for kids. And that led us into, and it was almost impossible for us to separate the GATE program from the Gateway process at times while we were talking about it. So we knew we naturally had to get into the Gateway project.
There's a lot of hinting that the GATE program was kind of a funnel for exceptional individuals to get into the Gateway program at a young age.
Well, it's crazy as you look up these two programs, they say everything you look up says these two programs are not related to one another at all. But how did we keep coming back to the same, you know?
So let's
just naturally went there.
Let's start out with some facts to get people who are not, because I wasn't familiar with this. Right. I had no clue what this was until we started looking into it. And then my brain was just like, bro,
I can't believe nobody has talked about this. Like I haven't heard of this. I can't believe
the Y-Files did a thing on it.
Okay, so I've legit done these tapes before and didn't realize I was doing them.
For real.
Yeah.
So let's get into some facts. We'll do the facts just to explain people who don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So the Gateway, what?
I might have a lot more facts, depending on what facts you got.
Okay.
It's fine.
So the Gateway process, it was the originally, so talking about the Gateway project was to create a process, and they created the Gateway process. The Gateway process was quote unquote analyzed by the CIA, but allegedly not created by the CIA. But we're all pretty sure that it was created by the CIA as an extension of MK Ultra. But it is unofficially an extension of MK Ultra, and the idea of it was that it was because it didn't include drugs and stuff like that it was like a clean extension, and so they allowed it to continue, quote unquote, more public than MK Ultra. And it almost seems like they gave us the information in 2003. They did a Freedom of Information Act, and they released all the information. It's almost like they released it just because they wanted to satiate people who were talking about how there was more nefarious things going on. And so they could be like, oh, see, look, we just continued it and it's not nefarious. It's just with sound waves. Ooh. So that's kind of what it is.
Right.
So the program originated at the Monroe Institute. Robert Monroe founded the Monroe Institute, and Robert Monroe wrote a book on the whole process. I listened to that book. It's not a long book. I speed listened to it.
So I didn't talk about why he started it. Or we get to that later.
Yeah, we're just talking facts. But I didn't listen to it as well as I should have.
Bob Monroe was a radio guy. He wasn't a scientist.
Right.
No, and that's the thing.
So Gateway, it relied heavily on sound-based things, and the technology is called HemiSync, and HemiSync is basically trying to sync up your brains, your left brain and your right brain hemispheres to be more synchronized in order to unlock its full potential. Again, like I said, in 2003, it was a Freedom of Information Act, and there was a report written by U.S. Army Intelligence Officer Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonald, who we can remember from last week.
We talked about him last
Ironically, he shows back up when you start, but they're not connected, guys. Hey, Mike.
Not connected.
They're not connected, okay?
It's probably a cousin.
It's just, it's another lieutenant colonel that goes by lieutenant.
It's like Agent Smith.
It's another fake name. Yeah,
that there are no records of ever existing in or out of the military other than this book.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Seems legit.
So the Gateway project and all of this, it expands, and it's trying to refer to perception, what we perceive, the potential of our intelligence applications, and it goes into the concepts of out-of-body experiences, and that gets into other programs we're probably going to talk about in the next coming weeks. Mm-hmm. So they describe the brain as a biological hologram. They then begin to eventually start to say that the world we live in is just, it's not real. And so kind of going back to our
simulation?
Matrix. Yeah, simulation.
What?
Goes back to the Matrix episodes, things like that. Allegedly, the CIA never formally adapted this process as practice, even though it's in their other programs. So like, they clearly did. The program was not classified at its origin, allegedly. And then allegedly no proof of supernatural claims have been confirmed, even though they literally talk about human intelligence that doesn't. Anyway, okay, hold on. One more fact. Then Gateway influenced modern discussions on consciousness. And that are the facts, and now we can get into it. Okay, I wanted to get through that because I wanted to establish a base.
So much.
I wanted to establish a baseline for people who have no clue. Because, like I said, had I
the cliff notes of the facts.
Had I jumped into this and had a better idea, I'd had a better way to go.
I need to add a fact. Now,
all the facts.
The actual Monroe Institute Gateway listening files that they use to listen and reach this higher consciousness or this out-of-body experience stuff, allegedly, those tapes, you can look them up and listen to them on YouTube in full.
I listened to 4.5 episodes.
Yeah.
They're like
and it's
45 minutes
worth.
long. Yeah. I listened to a good
they're available. It's not
4
like it's a
hours
secret.
worth.
They're out there. The Monroe Institute still exists.
It's on Spotify.
And they still exist. They do seminars. You can buy online books from them.
And get
you can be part of their mental programming things. They're still a legit business. They still run. It never got shut down.
So I think this will be. I know we talked about strategy, but I think me talking about listening to the audio will be a great introduction for you to take off.
Okay, go for it.
I listened to the like I said, 4 hours worth, and I did the things that they told me to do, and then eventually I fell asleep. So technically, I listened to even more than that in my sleep.
Did you achieve a higher state of consciousness?
And so the first thing that happened was, I will tell you this. So we've talked about it on the show. I have exploding ear syndrome. So when I get ready to fall asleep, instead of jerking awake, my brain creates a fake auditory simulation of a cannon going off. This jacked up my exploding ear syndrome, and I was hearing and feeling exploding stuff whenever I would start falling asleep when I was listening to it.
Bro, that's intense.
And it got bad enough to the point where, as a pastor, I started wondering, is there some demonic activity going on? And so
a lot of theories about that.
Right. And so I had dug far enough into this that I had already prayed, and I asked God, hey, please, first of all, protect me in this. And second of all, if this is something I shouldn't even listen to, just put it on my heart heavy to not listen to it. Otherwise, I ask and I trust you to protect me in this process. And I genuinely don't think that it was demonic, because I didn't feel demonic.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse.
No. I'll say, as far as, because of the fact that I know that what I think it was I think that it was messing with my brain, and that exploding ear syndrome, which already existed within my brain, it was just causing it to manifest in a more realistic way.
Okay.
That part of that. However, there is other aspects that I do think that once you start getting into he talks about releasing your soul from your body and stuff as he's talking.
Yeah.
When it gets to that, I'm and so I didn't do everything he told me to do because I wanted to protect myself.
Right.
And so when he's now at this point, we want you to release, there's something is going to enter and you need to release your soul from your body. I was nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing everything you tell me to do. But it did create weird sensations, and my exploding ear syndrome did get wildly worse. But another thing happened, and I actually started having weird visions while I was in the middle of it. And we talked about it briefly on the Patreon, that actually I went back to Central School. And so I don't know if it was because that was already on my brain and I was already thinking about the GATE program, but all of a sudden, boom, I went back to that. And he's talking about unlocking memories and things he's talking about unlocking memories. Yeah. And I'm this is too close to what we're talking about. So my consciousness is thinking, we're literally talking about the GATE program. We already studied this. Of course, that's what my brain is going to go to when he brings up unlocking locked memories. However, I want to explore this a little bit. And I actually do feel like it unlocked
so many things I need to tell you.
I know. Okay. So it actually did unlock some of my memory of the actual GATE process.
Right.
Of what, and this is the thing we listened to in the GATE program.
You got hypnotized.
This is literally the GATE program. Yeah. And so I was holy crap. And the memory that I do have, now it didn't give me more memories, but the memory I do have became more more clear.
Yeah. Right.
It was already, and it didn't give me new memories. I don't have any new memories of the GATE program, but the memory that I do have, it cleared up a little bit. I remember what the room looked like a little bit better now, and how weirdly small it was. Yeah. And I do remember the computer, and it was one of those old school 80s style computers that had the green screen and not modern computers and stuff.
Oh, the black and green.
Huh?
The black with the green.
I think it was just green and bright green, I think was what it was. But yeah, basically. And so, I remember the details of that a little bit more vividly, and some of the stuff, and honestly, everything that I already talked about, everything, all it did was it just made that memory more clear.
Right.
And then, trying to remember what all happened. And then, and then all of a sudden it unlocked another memory in my brain of a dark room near or in the basement of the school that we were in. And so Mike and I on the Patreon, we went and we looked at the satellite image. There's one area that we talked about that it could have hypothetically been. But it was almost like there was a basement, and it was like all of a sudden I had this weird memory of a basement at Central School. And who knows what that was, whether that was, again, consciously my brain is going, I'm just making things up. But subconscious, the vividness of it was wild. And it felt more like a memory rather than a just manifestation of something.
Yeah.
So one way or another, either that is extremely dangerous or really cool.
Okay, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened to your brain. So this program was originally, because I dug kind of deep into like the science behind it and stuff, because the science matched up closely to two different things that I've done in my life. One was when I was doing...
Little caveat, okay. I don't encourage people to necessarily go do this.
Do what?
To listen to all of these tapes. The limited experience I had, I don't recommend it for everybody. I mean, all right, continue.
Anyway, so digging into like my training when I was doing like sniper training type stuff, when I was doing my shooting stuff that I used to do, it tied into that, and it tied into my music training when I was going through like the higher level secondary music training. And I dug in and cross-referenced and did some cool stuff. So what this program was designed to do originally was people wanted to be able to learn why they sleep. So the idea was put you in a deep sleep and then throw information in your brain where it would stick, where you didn't have to study. You would just remember things.
So that's why I kept falling asleep.
Right? It was why you keep falling asleep. But what they discovered was, when they talked about using your whole brain, left hemisphere, right hemisphere. Your left hemisphere of your brain is your analytical side. It's the side that analyzes things. It's the side that doubts things. It's the side that grounds you in reality. The right side of your brain is your creative side. It's the part that you dream in. It's the part that doesn't understand the difference between reality and fantasy. It's why your dreams seem so real while you're having them. And then when you wake up, your left brain goes, wait, time out. We need to analyze this. That wasn't real.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
What those tones do is they put your brain in a frequency where it shuts off. It's not balancing your hemispheres. It's shutting off the left part of your brain. So your brain is accepting everything that's coming in at it.
Yeah. Okay.
As fact.
That makes sense.
Is what's happening. And so it digs into your subconscious. It digs into memories. Some of those memories maybe were dreams. Maybe they weren't real.
Dreams, could have been fake. Yeah.
Maybe they weren't real, but it's making you think they're real because because the hemisphere is then kind of loosening that boundary between left and right.
That makes sense.
Then your analytical side is trying to analyze that and saying, this is real. Why was this real? And so, could be real, could
might not be. Yeah.
But
absolutely.
But anyway, yeah. So, cause I know we messed a lot with sports things, with the shooting stuff and the sports thing, fooling our brains into thinking that we were perfect at shooting, fooling our brains into thinking that I shoot perfect 10 out of 10 every time. And then it would actually happen. It was like this manifestation thing.
It's a sports therapy thing too.
Brain. Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cause you imagine yourself on the perfect play, next play.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of it, what it does, and Phil, I don't know if you dug into this too, is it plays these frequencies at just different hertz levels.
Yes.
And what that does is it makes your brain hear sounds that you normally wouldn't be able to hear because your brain's tuned into 4 hertz, which you can't hear because it's too low. But if I make a 4 hertz difference in what I'm playing in your left and right ear, your brain understands 4 hertz. And it can hear that sound now.
Yeah. So the origin of
it's weird science.
I read basically the entire CIA, from what I could find, the entire CIA documented history of the Monroe Institute of Applied Science from its inception.
25.
Yeah, minus page 25. Yeah, I saw that too.
And the CIA claims it never existed.
As much as I could find, there's all of the answers. There was a lot of little bits that it would specify this portion has been okay to prove to be released, whatever. So basically, it started in 1951. Rob Monroe was just a broadcasting guy, radio dude, and he and all this is from the perspective of CIA personnel stating he involuntarily began to have out-of-body experiences. Just spontaneously.
And I've seen that in his interview. He talked about that too.
It just happened.
Yep.
And so he figured out that it had something to do with the frequencies coming through the headphones, apparently. And so then he started researching this. So he developed this, what was it called? FFR, frequency following response, something like that. Something like that. And so he designed a method where, like Mike talked about, you'd set up 2 different frequencies in each headphone, or one in each headphone for 2 different frequencies, and it would synchronize your brain. It trained your hemispheres to be synchronized. And then the CIA dude, I assume that's who the letter was from, to the U.S. Army. I don't know if that was from him or from a different person. Whoever it was tasked with figuring out if this had presumably military and covert government operation applications. And
it was Wayne McDonald.
So he was writing back, and he did a very in-depth technical explanation analysis of everything that he observed through quite a few years of watching and participating in the Gateway experiments.
Right. It wasn't like he showed up and watched for a couple days and then wrote a paper. Like he was there in the program.
He was in the trenches of this thing. Wow. But so Monroe patented this technique and this device, the way he had it set up. And then he got the government to build the Monroe Institute of Applied Science, which is in, Faber, Virginia, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's probably like 100 miles from Langley, if that trips anybody's trigger. It's not all that far away. And so then they start doing these experiments and getting people into altered states of consciousness, trying to achieve this out-of-body experiences that he had. And so the way this worked was, first, they would isolate these people, put them in almost sensory deprivation type deal. They'd put them in a chamber, darken the room, put the headphones on, cover them with a blanket, complete, like you're just dark. And they would get them into a deep, relaxed state with these frequencies. And then once they had different number designations for like the levels that you would achieve here. Focus 10 is what they called the point where you became deeply relaxed. Your body would go to sleep, but your consciousness would remain intact. Like you were conscious and aware of things. Like
lucid dreaming.
It kind of.
Yeah, very like when you're hypnotized.
It was a step below.
Yeah.
It was a step below. You couldn't move, you couldn't do anything, but you were aware of things. You were still conscious, but your body was asleep. Your body had reached they described your body wants to maintain homeostasis, and this is pushing outside of that.
Right.
It's your body doesn't naturally want to do it. So it took a lot of time to train your brain and your body to do this. But once you became proficient at reaching that deep relaxed state, focus 10, then they would push you into focus 12, and that was where some of the other like instructional stuff came through the headphones, and they would kind of get you to explore outside of
the instructional stuff. Starts right off the bat, and it goes through.
Tape 1
but that's a different.
It gets weird. Yeah,
just the frequency was how you got to the point where you could.
Yeah. But the instruction occurs from the get go. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, so they. Focus 12 is what they designated the area where you could start to kind of come out of yourself and approach they called it a larger self, your consciousness, but bigger, more understanding, knowing more about the universe and energy and stuff like that. And so the technical way that they explained this and how it worked was these frequencies would start to affect the way your heart pumped and the frequency that your blood would pump. And so it turned your brain into an energy oscillator, and you would transfer your energy, the energy that makes you up, out into space-time as we know it, and affect the energy field around you, and then you could like kind of branch out. And this is only focus 12. There's two more. There's two more. This is where you started to be able to reach out and like view outside of yourself. If there was someone else in a similar state at distance, you could kind of communicate and transfer information via the energy.
Which is what this is what got the CIA involved in this. Is that sounds exactly like remote viewing, which they were trying to grasp.
Right, and so this is kind of the lucid dreaming point, but it's directed, it's focused, it's intended. Okay, so then once you become proficient in moving around, communicating, directing your energy to affect reality around you in focus 12, then they push you into focus 15. Now, focus 15 is where it gets crazy, okay? Because now you can go outside of time. This is from the CIA. The CIA says you can do this.
Oh my God.
You can go outside of time and you can go into the past, and you can affect reality in the past by using your energy and directing it through controlling energy fields with your energy in the past. Okay, so you can affect reality. I don't know how it never specified how they analyzed or confirmed these observations, but it was stated as fact by a CIA, very scientific minded, because he was very, very well versed in anatomy, physiology, he gets into quantum physics later, okay, which we're starting to get there already. Once you become proficient in focus 15, then you can, maybe very few people did this, get to focus 21. Focus 21 allows you to do the same thing, but in the future. You can literally go and affect the future by directing your energy outside of space-time. And then he starts talking about like the nature of the universe and what everything is made up of. And the theory, and I'm assuming they still treat this as theory. The theory is that matter isn't a separate entity from energy. That matter, space, time, everything is made up of energy, just taking
matter is our
forms.
Perception of energy.
Matter is yes, it is. It is a form of energy.
Yeah.
And
this is pre-quantum, like modern quantum science. They were saying this stuff. Yeah.
Right. And so that's how that all can work. And it just starts getting really weird sci-fi. But anyway, so they get to that point, and that's kind of where the cap is, I guess you could say. But I started thinking about, okay, now hold on, what are the implications with this? And I started thinking, now if you can alter the past, but it's all energy, right? So like it's, you don't, the nature of everything kind of starts to change the way they portray it. If you can alter the past, what if that's our Mandela effect? We have residual memory of this. What if somebody literally went from the Gateway program back and like changed the course of Nelson Mandela? Well, maybe he did die in prison.
The theory too, though. Like the grandpa theory of time travel says that you can travel in the past. And you can change the past, but once you change it, you're stuck and you're part of that past. You can't come back. So maybe that's the queen. So then stuck. Back to your original little comment about the queen. Yeah. She's trapped. She go back and she changed something, and
so then
now she can't come back.
I have one more thought.
I don't know.
Tanner, you'll like this one. So if it's all energy, light, matter, all of it, what if we go back for a second to the double slit experiment? And maybe the reason,
I'm glad you said that.
Maybe the reason that light changes how it behaves, even if it's just a camera that's observing, maybe it's because the light knows it's going to be observed. The camera is going to be observed by another energy source in the future.
I want to say I read, so the guy that came up with that experiment, the light slit experiment, I want to say he was part of the Monroe Institute. I thought I came across that somewhere.
I would believe it.
I didn't take a picture or anything, but it did come up, and I think he was part of the original Monroe Institute idea too. So that's crazy.
That wouldn't surprise me. There was a lot. I don't know what the total number of individuals experimented was.
It's got to be thousands and thousands.
Okay, in the 2000, this report was letter was sent in 2003 when this was
the Freedom of Information Act was 2003. Yeah.
But that's also when he, I think, sent the letter or whatever. He said over the course of the last 10 years, whenever he sent that letter, 3,000 experiments with over 3,000 and over 1,900 individuals that were experimented on. But anyway, back to the double slit thing. I would love to see someone replicate that experiment, but have a third test where there is a camera, but it's never observed. You never look at it? You never look at it. The footage is, you just delete it. I'd really love to know because my theory with that is that the energy in the future from the observer, the observation transmits energy that circles back and affects the light, and the light knows. That's just the thought, just an idea I have. But yeah, so basically, the CIA says that time travel was proven possible through this via an out-of-body experience by turning your body into a controller for making your brain a giant energy oscillator and transmitting your essence into the universe and outside of space time as we know.
Well, I'm talking about how many people involved in this too. Like when it was MK Ultra way back, they were tricking college students and young people into doing this at a clinic, and now like people pay to be part of this institute. Like people are paying, they're funding the Monroe Institute to be part of the experiments through the Monroe Institute. Now, Tanner, you listen to it. So it's weird because when I started listening to the tapes, I'm like, I've heard this before.
Yeah, same.
It was almost predictable.
Same.
Like, I have heard this before, and I can't tell you where I've heard it before. But I have 100% heard this before. But so when they say the gate was not connected to the Gateway program, I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm 100% sure because I
have heard those tapes before.
I've heard them before.
This is the first time I've come across them online, but I know I've heard that before.
I've heard them before, and I'm like 99% sure that I heard them in the GATE program.
It's interesting.
And if it wasn't that, I don't know where I heard them.
So talking about the music stuff, Tanner had said earlier. So, Courtney, have you ever sang quarter tones?
Oh, no.
So when you go because I went to Colorado State and they were pretty advanced music. Like we did some crazy advanced music composition stuff.
I'm not vocally trained, so no.
So it's weird because
quarter tone, it's an accident.
Humans naturally are hardwired to hear and understand half steps in music. If we don't hear the half step, we assume it's flat and we hate it. And it's not a cultural thing. It's a human brain frequency thing. Because it doesn't matter where you come from in the world, time wise, culture wise, anywhere, music is music, and it's based on half step pitches. Right. So there was the composer that came through, and we used to house composers coming through trying new things, and he composed this piece of music, and it was built on quarter steps. And
I've heard of that.
We sang the quarter steps, and it does stuff to your brain.
I think I was actually told that there were cultures who specifically developed that type of music.
So throat singing. Throat singing is built on quarter steps.
And
it's why it puts you in this weird state. It puts your brain in a weird state. And that's why a lot of cultures use throat singing and, the ancient, just ancient singing and stuff. A lot of times when it was religious singing, they would sing in quarter steps and things like that, and even echo quarter steps so that, it creates this weird, shift in your brain and the way your brain perceives things. But there's science behind it too. It's not just a spiritual thing. Like there's science behind it too, which, pushes me towards, I'm always trying to find connections between spirituality and science. Cause I don't think they're as far separated as people want them to be. I think they coexist. Like one proves the other, Yeah. And so, I was going to have Tanner sing something, and then I'll sing like a quarter pitch, and we'll mess with Phil's brain and see if we can do that.
I don't know if I can. Just like a random.
Just hold a note.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
That little like offbeat or that.
Do you feel like the vibration from it? What kind of feel to it?
Yes.
That's you hearing. You hearing a super low tone hertz, and that's your brain trying to make sense of it. Because it can't hear it, it's trying to make sense of that difference.
Okay,
so in band class,
noticed that
you would be told you're out of tune.
You're out of tune. You're flat.
Pitch.
Yeah. But it makes you feel really uneasy and very uncomfortable, and it can actually. I
never had that scientifically explained before.
Right. So in the right volume, it can cause like hallucination. It can cause lots of things, which again is. The science and the spirituality behind it, I don't think they're that far separated. Maybe those pitches, and when you start to hallucinate, when you start to see things, maybe you're not actually imagining you're seeing things. Maybe you are opening up an extra dimension, maybe, just for a second. I don't know. Sound. I think there's way more to sound than
sound is weird. Well, and so like we kind of talked about that a little bit too, back when we talked about pyramids, right? Like that kind of thing, like the energy, the way that energy is moved, transmitted, and harnessed and utilized,
right?
Like,
and the way music knocking down walls, like in ancient times, like knocking down complete walls that armies couldn't knock down. They used sound to do it, and I don't think it was volume. I think it was. I think it was wavelengths.
You think God threw a priest trumpet out of tune to knock down the walls of Jericho?
I was going to say Jericho.
I'm just saying.
Or they were smarter.
It's capable.
When it came to sound.
Like when people are trying to break glass with sound, it's not the volume that does it. It's the wavelength that does it. It's the hertz that you sing at or you play at that makes the glass break. It's not how loud it is.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Like the wavelength can mess with your brain. Your brain is like that. So I have a theory, Phil.
Yeah.
You're not going to like it.
Okay.
So what if...
I don't like anything about this.
What if there are certain hertz of sound coming through our phones that are in our pockets and in our lives all day long, and these certain hertz are creating our moods? Okay? Because in the Monroe Institute, they have levels. They name the hertz levels that cause sleepiness, that can cause euphoria, that can cause happiness, that can cause all these things. Wouldn't it stand to reason that you could play something at a certain hertz level that would cause you to be violent, that would cause you to be depressed or anxious, that would cause you to be suspicious of people, like all those things?
That'd be a really great way to like engineer trauma for someone if like you wanted to get them in,
or if you wanted a Manchurian candidate and all you got to do is play a frequency that makes them violent.
Can I interject? A little bit.
Absolutely.
So. The 440 hertz, which is what is the world standard for hertz now, was originally promoted by Nazi Germany in order to promote aggression, anxiety, and tension. And the more aggressed, anxious, and tense we are, the more likely you are to believe propaganda. Because it triggers the already existing anxiousness and anxiety.
Didn't we talk about last week about how the world seems more anxious and more, what better way to pump unheard hertz through society than in these little devices that they've tricked us into having in our pockets all the time.
So now let's combine that with flashing that we can't see.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched?
Oh yeah, in the infrared.
I posted just some random. I don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
But you can't see who they are, so I felt comfortable posting in the Discord. But it's just a random person walking by our house with their phone out. It's a strobe light going off.
Yeah.
It's literally flashing a strobe light of infrared light that we can't see. And that we ever wonder why your battery dies so fast? It's because it's literally flashing a light nonstop. All day, every day. It's flashing. And if you want to test it, take your phone and look at it, and boom, oh, it lights up. It knows you're looking at it. How does it know you're looking at it? Because it senses your face, because it's flashing the infrared light at it.
And it's not just lifting your phone, because you can lift your phone away from your face and it won't do it. But if I put it towards my face, it lights up. Yeah.
But the flashing is nonstop.
Yeah.
Your phone is on and you are open and it's unlocked, it's still flashing at you a strobe light. So my theory, kind of just jumping into that, taking it, running with it, and then giving it back, is I think you combine the 440 hertz with a light frequency that your body, you can't see it, but there's still going to be some
But your brain registers it. It's like that that's that little 4 hertz interval thing.
Have you ever just looked at
your body can feel it, your brain can feel it, but it can't actually hear it.
Right. Have you ever just looked at a strobe light? It's dizzying.
Yeah.
It's nauseating. Like when a strobe light's going off in the vicinity, like it's disorienting.
Your mother was right. It's that dang phone.
The reason now it can cause seizures is because it causes seizures because it does stuff to your brain.
And now you throw a light frequency you can't see, a volume frequency you can't detect, that induces more anxiety, tension, and aggression.
Well, we talk about
how propaganda.
How pre 2016 just felt different.
Yeah.
Like it just felt better and simpler, and things weren't as tense and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, we attribute that to like social media and access to phones and stuff like that. But if that's a part of it, like if this was developed specifically when smartphones became more like
what if it is, but not the way we're thinking of it?
What if that's when that conditioning started was with smartphones, and before that, just with your flip phone, it wouldn't put out the the infrared. It didn't have the technology for it. But that's why it feels like a different time, and why everyone's more stressed is just another reason for that.
For real. Doing this started making me think that I might start taking time every
bigger
day
breaks from your phone.
Not just shut my phone off.
Away from
put my phone in a different room.
Just go plug it in. Dig a hole in the backyard, throw it in.
You cannot access me while my phone is in the other room.
Yeah.
And
have we talked about Faraday rooms and stuff like that on here yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But I want to, before we go into anything else, I wanted to.
I don't have anything prepared to talk about. So,
well, I do have a little snippet about Faraday rooms.
So the alternate hertz, which is apparently more healing and used to be allegedly the more common hertz that used to be used, is 432. And every once in a while, when I'm on TikTok, I have a few that I've subscribed to that they play music at 432 hertz.
Yeah.
And it could be a placebo effect. I'm not denying that it could be, but whenever I come across them, I'll stop and I'll listen. It's dad rock. They're basically playing dad rock at 432 hertz. And it sounds different. And at first your brain is like, ew, that sounds a little off. But by the time I finish the song, I do feel better. Yeah. And a lot of times, once I get done listening to that song, I can just shut off my phone and no longer doom scroll.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I've liked a bunch of these things, but they just play music 24/7 in 432 hertz. And again, it could be placebo effect. I'm not taking that away, but the fact that initially my brain literally goes, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I still have the placebo effect is weird to me.
Right.
I don't think, and that's what makes me think it's not the placebo effect, because my initial response is, I don't like this, because it sounds different than it's supposed to. But then by the time the song finishes, I'm good. Yeah. And
so what if our assets, like, it's not a trigger word, it's a trigger frequency,
Yeah.
An undetectable frequency that their brain is trained to react to.
That brings us into a topic that we might talk about in a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
But what if that's what HAARP is? Because HAARP is literally HAARP, not HAARP.
Which is funny because literally I was just thinking with all of this, I was thinking of David playing the harp and singing and casting the demons out of Saul while he's throwing spears at him. That's what I was thinking of. I was like,
how important
what if it was
is
just that frequency?
HAARP in the Bible.
Dude,
in history.
Yeah, because he cast the demon out using music with the harp.
Music is everywhere in the
Hold
Bible.
on.
Why didn't they? I think they understood sound and music on a way different level.
Oh, I absolutely.
Because they use music as weapons. They use
back then. Yeah, I 100%.
Music was their tech.
The auditory attack that from the U.S. on the certain country lately.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll just say this: I've never seen a musician play a harp and cast a demon out of somebody in modern times.
So,
but that is interesting that his harp, and with harp, we're not going to go into harp this week, but harp is sound and electromagnetics. And so now you got sound, you got light, and now you got electromagnetics being sent at us.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, because sound can do all kinds of things.
You're messing with all of our senses.
Giant,
all of our natural subconscious senses.
Like a multifaceted dog whistle that just makes us go crazy.
Like Phil, have you ever heard of the brown note?
Yeah. I have.
I've seen Mythbusters.
Hasn't been discovered yet, allegedly, but you want to end a war, that's how you do it.
Well, speaking of ending wars, that's what they did in Venezuela.
Yeah.
They literally
made them sick.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
With
it was literally
frequencies.
Bro.
They used the frequency to make everybody sick.
Okay.
You were going to say something before I cut you off.
I just want to kind of tie it back a little bit to the start of the Monroe thing, because I think we're all on the same page at this point of like sound is kind of a really important and useful thing. But how did we figure that out? I think a lot of the tech that we have today that's sound-based is from the Gateway Project.
Yeah.
So I actually think the Gateway Project is them. I think that they know or found pre-existing cultures things and tried to reutilize already past existing things.
I think, and this is my legitimate theory. Who knows, but this is my legit theory. I think demons were the ones that orchestrated Robert Monroe's original out-of-body experiences when he was broadcasting. Because what are the odds of that happening?
Have you read This Present Darkness by Frank Peretti?
I have not, but I'm going to now. I think that is how that started, and I think that because I've been convinced for a long time that a lot of the tech that we have today is from demons. Like, they're the ones that introduced us to it. It's not their tech, but they're the ones that introduced us to it. And I think this was a way to get people on that track and like show them, hey, this is kind of how we operate, right? Because demons live and operate, or exist and operate in and out of our dimension, right? Like they don't have the level of control that God does, but they exist outside of what we can see and hear and feel and whatever else. Yep. And I think that may have been a way to be like, hey, here's some tools. You want to see some cool stuff? I'm going to show you some cool stuff. You're about to see some serious, but and just like, I think that was kind of an introduction to a lot of the tech that we have today, and that was kind of a way to get one thing that I didn't mention about. So part of the reason that a lot of people have kind of a blockage, right, between Focus 10 and Focus 12, was that when they start to push their energy out of their body and approach that larger consciousness, a lot of people feel a very deep sense of fear of loss of self.
Like you're not going to be able to find your way back.
Like you're not going to be you anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's a spiritual safeguard that we have. That's like, especially if you're a Christian, I feel like that is a very strong, that might be the Holy Spirit telling you like, no, do not do this. You are not meant to be here. You are not meant to do this. You are not meant to see, feel, experience this. This is not part of what humans are supposed to be. So go back to where you're supposed to be and do what you're supposed to do. And I think that that is a very dangerous thing that demons use to gain access to you and to like kind of bring you out of where you're meant to be. I don't know how exactly that would work, but
so We're on the same page. So my thought process on this, I think that this is 100% exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
Next step, I think that the fact that this was declassified and all of that, I think that there's a lot of lies in this as well. Intentional lies in order to both make it seem crazy and make it seem far-fetched, as well as
entice
to entice some people and to kind of allow it to slide under the radar.
Yeah.
As I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in here who has actually had an out of body experience.
That's what I was going to talk about.
When
Nope.
You've had an out of body experience? Okay.
Yeah, lots.
Well, I don't know how to put this lightly. Trigger warning, I guess, but
you've mentioned it
when
before,
I was
haven't you?
It was on one of the darker episodes. When I was possessed by a demon, I had an out of body experience, and I can tell you that looking back at your body, and this is, I don't know how to explain this, but looking back at your body, seeing that that's your body, but knowing that it's not you, is something that you can't undo in your conscious and your psyche, because it really helps to solidify your personality is you, not your body.
Yeah.
And that moment and that experience really solidified that. But what brought about that moment was my body was being possessed by a demon. Yeah. And so recognizing what it looked like, I don't know how to even explain it in the spiritual world, because the spiritual world looked just like the regular world, but it quote unquote felt different because you no longer had, and I don't, gosh, I've never really talked about this before. Your attachment to your body is no longer there. And it's not like you're just like an invisible ghost. You're still there. It's like you are here, but your body is there. But I don't know how to explain it, but it detaches that. And because of that detachment, going forward, you think I've always, and maybe it's just the process of my thought process or what, but since that time, I've never been able to recombine the thought process of my body and my conscious being the same thing anymore. And there is a distinct separation between me and my body now, and not in a permanent way, but in like a practical realization way. Yeah. Gosh, I
just
sound
like once you've been outside the matrix, once you're back in, you know it's not real. You know, like you know that there's more to it.
Yeah,
it's real.
Not
you're experiencing it.
Okay, wait, time out. Okay, time out. So when Phil, earlier when you talked about how in this program they can slow down their hearts and they can control, I don't know if you know this or not, but I can do that. I can consciously speed up and slow down my heart rate. I've been able to do that for so long that it's not weird to me. Out of body experiences, I have them all the time, and it's so common for me that it's not something I talk about, and it's not something that I think is weird. When I pray, when I get into deep prayer, I have an out of body experience. Like I am out of my body, and the way you're describing it is exactly right. It's kind of like, you remember when we did the hypnosis thing, and all of a sudden you couldn't feel your fingers, and you couldn't feel. To me, that's what it's like when I hit that. I'm still there. It's still me, but my body is separate. Like I don't think about my fingers or pain or my breathing or any of that. And then when I come back in, my body is just tense. Like when I come out of prayer, when I come out of this deep meditation kind of thing, my muscles in my body are tensed up and I have to relax, which is extra weird. But I've been there a lot. Like it wasn't a one-time thing for me. So it's not a weird, and that's been that way since I was like, since I can remember, which is extra weird because we talked about the G.A.T.E program and I've heard these signals before, and
That's true.
That's
yeah,
weird, man.
that
I
is
don't know
kind
if
of
I like this or not.
Yeah, that is kind of
weird.
I
you
didn't
brought
make that
up.
connection.
That you brought
That's
that up.
an interesting connection.
But I've always been able to disconnect like that. And maybe it's a trauma thing. I don't know. But I've always been able to disconnect and go out of my body like that.
I will say ever since I experienced it, I've never wanted to experience it again necessarily.
Yeah.
I guess, it makes me wonder if I were to want to, if that would have changed.
Do you think that there is an omission in the file as to the nature of what happens when you're not in your body?
I think
do you think that's part of the reason that because when you push your energy, your quote unquote energy field out, your soul, you're no longer in there. It's vacant. And do you think that leaves it open for
possibly?
I'm just spitballing. I don't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't know.
The crazy thing to me about the whole all of the CIA part of it is still that just wrote it as fact. This again, very scientific minded man writing to a superior of this is the nature of this whole program. We're not talking about it as a supernatural thing. We're not talking about it as a cult thing. We're not talking about it as spiritual. It's just metaphysical, quantum. This is fact. This is what I observed. This is what happened. This is what it is. It's so I don't even know how to explain it. It's so scholarly. It's so weird to talk about. Well,
it's basically taking the chakras, the mantras, and the astral projections, and trying to make it seem scientific.
Yeah,
and
which to some degree it is, depending on how you define science, right? If science is just what it's supposed to be, which is testing, observing, all that, and it's scientific.
I go back to the movie we talked about briefly on the Patreon, the movie Get Out.
Yeah.
And it's about them hypnotizing people so that they can then be taken over by somebody who's older and dying. And I'm and this goes back to the theory, and this is just a conspiracy theory. This is just for fun. I'm not saying I actually believe you can do this, but part of the premise, going back to the Queen thing, was what if the elites, and part of the reason that they look like and their mannerisms are so traceable is because they elicit this response and then they go out of body and then they take over somebody else's body.
Right.
And their consciousness went back to that new body and they begin to take over the mannerisms of that
So
person.
look at some ancient cultures that I'm thinking in particular in ancient Japan and things where the king was not themselves. They were a progression of generation after generation after generation after generation, all, same soul, same spirit being passed to the new body.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Can we?
Well, and this basically takes reincarnation.
No, Phil, we can't.
Out of the window and
Phil's raising his hand.
What if we step back to that little weird audio clip from the funeral, and we suggest the idea that we're not talking about the person who vacated the body that they're having the funeral for, but we're talking about the person who she replaced.
And that's what I was saying.
Is that what you're going to?
That's what I was saying the whole time.
That we lost it. Yeah,
you guys went off on a different track, and I was like, "We'll come back to this."
No, and that's what I was. That's what I was thinking when you brought it up at first too. Is what if the next body it was supposed to go into, somehow we lost it. We lost that.
She didn't get into
that spirit
for
that
something.
She didn't get in for some reason, and now we've lost that one.
I didn't think this could get weirder than I expected it to, but somehow it did.
Yeah.
I just want to go on record and say I thought I had the craziest
Phil,
part of this
back to
in my
Phil
head.
talking about feeling like you lose your body. When I am, it's
as you can see.
I'm still.
Just had to listen to it one more time.
There's still that ownership there. I know it's my. Like Tanner said, I know it's mine. I know that's mine. I know I own. I know that's home. But I agree with you. I do feel very separate. You feel like your body isn't who you are.
Right. Yeah. It's still me. It's still my body.
Yeah.
But I fully
there's
understand
more there. There's a layer there.
I fully understand that my
I've always
consciousness
felt like that.
is not my body.
And I've always, and maybe that's why I butted heads so much growing up in the church and trying to explain that to people. And they were just like, what? That's not true, and talking me down on stuff like that, where I'm like, this is a real experience for me, That's interesting that you brought that up because, I've never really talked about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the church has suffered significantly from the process of making and this goes back to all the way back into Catholic and Orthodox times of that the pastor and the preacher is the one who reads the Bible and I get my interpretation from them. I think the church has suffered from that.
They are the way, the truth, and the life, and that just isn't how it's supposed to be.
And I think one of the great things that Protestantism brought was part of the big push of Protestantism of Martin Luther was, I want every guy working in a field being able to read it for himself. Yeah. And when you read the Bible for yourself, you very quickly recognize that, hey, this isn't as easy to understand as my pastor makes it.
No.
Because there is a lot of nuance there. There is a lot of, like going back to that, David playing music casts a demon out, and that's the only time we see an exorcism in the Old Testament. We see the marching around Jericho. We see the dunk him in the water, and when he comes up, and you start seeing it's so much wilder than just the copy paste. Oh, show up to church and that is your faith, and when we dumb it down to that, the people whose reality wasn't that just phenomenal upbringing and I say it in a mocking way. That's a good thing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have that picture perfect upbringing. They didn't have the great parents and the great childhood and the easy and transition into the church world easily. And they've always tithed and they get their word is the pastors. And when you don't have that, it creates disruption because somebody comes in who lived off the streets and now everybody's uncomfortable. And, they start talking about alcoholism and they start talking about addiction and now everybody's uncomfortable. You start talking about life is hard sometimes and now everybody's uncomfortable. You talk about sometimes finances don't come through. Sometimes hardships happen. Sometimes people aren't healed and all of a sudden we're uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And rather than dealing with the uncomfortability that life happens and we don't have all the answers, instead of doing that, they just shun that person away because it doesn't fit their copy-pasted Christianity. Mm-hmm. And that is a false gospel. That is not Jesus. That is not what he testified to. That's not who Jesus was. And it is a dumbed-down version of faith that has been prostituted for gain. And it's not Christianity. It's not Jesus. And so many people over the years, in my opinion, have been lost to that fake gospel. Mm-hmm. And it hurts me.
Idolatry, really.
It hurts me to even hearing you talk about that because
I still get lost in it when I go to it, and I do. And we have so many great discussions and great talks and just real down to earth, real life discussions, and I feel like more people need that. More people need that. And to me, you are an expert, you are a guide, you are, but you're also open to questioning and you're open into, you had a different experience than me.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Which I really,
that's
the
most important thing that a person can acknowledge. Yeah. Like just in general is just accepting that your experience does not invalidate someone else's.
Yeah, that's fair.
The experience of another person, and that's I think that's a lot of the reason that I just don't tend to have problems with people overall.
Right.
It's just I'm not saying your feelings are invalid for whatever. If you have an issue with me, even that because of an experience that you had, sorry, that's the experience that you had. I'm not saying that, you're wrong for feeling that way, but just look at it from my perspective. And then that tends to get through to people. Just not telling someone that you're just wrong about anything is just, that tends to go over a lot better and get people to listen better.
I just had a quote the other day, proving someone else wrong doesn't make you right.
That's true.
And I was like,
yep.
I like that.
And I think one of the key scripture of to not forsake the gathering of the saints, I think that is actually a really important scripture that gets twisted a little bit and it gets misrepresented. And I do think that church is good and beneficial. I think that people should go to church. Find a church that you enjoy and go to it. I think that's beneficial. I think it's good. I think it's something we should do.
Is important.
But I also think I think that not forsaking the fellowship of the saints is more like this and talking and having conversations with each other about the hard topics, having conversations about the weird things. And when
your doubts and your, you know, it's not all, you know, faith comes with doubts too. I mean, you got to discuss those too. What are we, you know?
And if the way that we open up that conversation is by talking about Bigfoot, cool. If it's talking about something, you know, the Gateway Project, cool. But that's the thing is, faith is so much more than that. And I think that somebody who wasn't, kind of going back to what you're talking about with bring it back to the Gateway Project.
Yeah.
Somebody who doesn't know that, hey, because they talked about, you know, the interactions with non-human intelligence and stuff. Mm-hmm. Somebody who wouldn't know any better. Mm-hmm. They would think, oh, this is an alien or a fourth dimension being. Mm-hmm. It's extremely intelligent. But somebody who let's say like me, I'm going, this is a demon, bro. I'm not having a conversation with this homie. But targeting people, going back to the GATE program, targeting people who didn't have that upbringing, who had the rough childhood, who are questioning things, who are already not, you know, they're already pessimistic about everything.
Susceptible to that kind of...
And we're going to throw them into this environment and give them a chance to talk to an interdimensional being? Oh, sign me up, you know what I mean? And so it just seems... they had to have gone into each other.
Right.
I don't see how they didn't at this point with the people overlap, the name overlap, the everything about it overlaps. They had to have played into each other. And it does make me wonder, like, what's the next step? You know, the government doesn't just abandon
I've
things.
I've never had a conversation with anybody but God during my weird things.
Keep it that way.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's weird that when you say that, you know, and I think sometimes it's what you're seeking. You know what I mean? If you're seeking to speak to aliens and, you know, fourth dimensional beings or even demons or things, you're going to manifest. You're going to find who you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I usually do this, it's usually it's very, very internal, or it's very in prayer. And so that's really the only conversations I have when I.
And that was a distinction that I was wanting to bring up with you too. Is like with your out of body experience, like the difference between like, oh, you were dragged, like pulled out of your body. Mm-hmm. But no, it's because you opened yourself up to that.
I did open myself up to that.
And
I wanted to know what it felt like to have a demon inside of me.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing to think.
Yeah.
When you are fighting a demon, you know? when you're trying to cast a demon out of somebody else.
That's like, it is what you see.
I want to know what it's like to get head kicked by John Jones. Do you?
It's literally we were a friend.
Curiosity is an interesting vice.
A friend we were casting a demon out of a friend, and I had a genuine desire to know what that felt like, and I got to feel it, and I'm good. I'm good to go. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I took one for the team. Y'all, you can just believe me. It's not something you should desire.
No.
Learn
but
those angels really showed up for you too. So
yeah, that is definitely an experience. And it's funny because initially, I've never felt comfortable talking about that from like a pulpit, from you don't know, but in general.
Yeah.
But in this avenue on this podcast, I feel like the listeners who listen to this show are listening to it going, "Holy cow, that's crazy!" Not really, you had that experience. But if it was from a pulpit, I feel like most of the audience would be going, I don't know. I don't know if I can trust this guy anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that sound, do you get what I'm saying?
No, yes. I get it too. And even for me, like I didn't talk about any of this stuff for a long, just until recently, just because I thought it was normal. I thought that this was what people do. I didn't realize it was weird.
No.
Or it was strange because I never brought it up. No. It just never comes what up. I do every night, you know, it was just like a thing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've felt and been in God's presence and just the peace and stuff, and you become like, it's just him and his peace, and I'm not aware of my fingers and my toes and my breathing and stuff. Right. But
I have a finishing thought. So what if there is a Hertz that is the God Hertz? And when it talks about the rocks will cry out and worship and
or he spoke the universe into existence.
What if there actually is a tying together Hertz, and what all of this is trying to intercept that hurts and distract us away from the better hurts that the rocks are crying out, that the trees are saying.
333.
The nature.
Right.
But
777.
But what if there is an actual Hertz that is what the rocks are literally worshiping, and they're worshiping in this Hertz that we can't hear or detect. And this is all meaning, the whole intention of all of this.
Louis
is to try to get us away
Giglio's
from that.
friggin' How Great Is Our God. Did you ever listen to that? He has a bit at the end where like the astronomers, I think, tuned into like the frequency of like distant galaxies and stuff, stars, and like it, like there's music from it.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know Louis Giglio did. I didn't know that.
He has a phenomenal video that the performance he did, just talking about the scale of the universe and like how it's all orchestrated and like pointing out the design in it. Phenomenal video. Highly recommend everybody to watch that if you haven't.
Cool. I'll look that up.
That's quite a while ago he made that.
That's cool.
But
yeah. Well, all this to say, next week I think we might need to go into Project Stargate.
I'm with that.
You guys want to go on to Project Stargate? Maybe do 2 parts, Project Stargate and HARP.
Okay.
Do a double.
Kind of put off the telepathy tapes. Do you think that will fit? I think
that'll fit in after
those.
That'll
okay,
be
perfect.
Next
perfect.
part.
All right, Stargate.
All right. So with that,
the CIA knows about time travel. Somebody want to do it?
Text that into the group chat so we don't forget.
Nope.
Okay, I'll do it after we get done recording. All right, with that, don't forget,
be your biblically accurate best.
And if you haven't yet, join our Patreon, patreon.com/BA Bigfoot. Easy to find. If you haven't done so, you can also join our Discord. Good conversations going on there. And insanelabs.com/ I don't know. insanelabs.com, and then use the discount code BA Bigfoot for 45% off. What else?
Singing the whole quarter.
Oh yeah.
Thing with our final sign off.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him?